Hey, what's up, guys? This is IFM, and you are tuned in to the first battle of the week of the second season, my battle against Deria. Now, for this match, it's a Wi-Fi OU match, but we decided to go about the system of picking the teams a lot differently than we normally do for a battle of the week. So we actually did a counter pick system. So I would pick one Pokemon, he would pick two. No Pokemon were allowed to be picked twice. Now, personally, when I was doing my choices, I was kind of thinking both in minds of what he was picking, but I also wanted to get strong Pokemon that could kind of destroy him, and at the same time not really pick just standard OU mons for every single choice, so we get a little bit of variety in the battle of the week. Now, after I made the team, actually, I did a lot of playtesting with some other people, and I realized that my team, it kind of sucked, and because I was kind of locked into that, I had to go for a bit of a different strategy to really have a chance in this game, which you can see in this battle. Now, if we started off, you can see I lead with my Skarmory right here, as he sends out his Metagross. Now, I'm going to go for the Taunt first turn, and I had realized that I really needed to prevent Stealth Rocks being up, so I decided to lead with Taunt Skarmory, and that shuts down Stealth Rocks, because I was pretty sure he would lead with a Metagross right there. And I also have a chance to get my own Stealth Rocks up as he switches to Starmie. Now, right here, he's probably thinking that I'm going to switch to my Crocodile that he knew I had and go for a Scald to kill the Crocodile, but I kind of read that and I went to my Jellicent. Now, this is not just any normal Jellicent. It actually is of the Trick Room variety, as you can see I set up right here. So he goes for another Scald, protecting another switch, and it lets me set up my Trick Room. Now, I think he's going to switch out as well, and I go for a Scald, but he stays in, predicts that, and goes for the Thunderbolt, and I'm forced to go for a Shadow Ball right here. Thankfully, he's going to switch to his Metagross. Now, thinking behind that was he was probably just going to leave Starmie in, because I already seen him use it once, and I could hit most of his team pretty much neutral with Shadow Ball and get some decent amount of damage with it. So as you can see, I hit Metagross with Shadow Ball, and now I have a chance to use a Scald here, but surprisingly enough, he tricks me an Iron Ball, which actually kind of works out in my favor because it's a Trick Room Jellicent that's got an Iron Ball, so it's obviously going to be slower than basically anything that he's got out there. And I even get an extra burn with the Scald, which is extremely important because it allows me to really not take as much damage with my Jellicent right there. Now, after Metagross goes down, he switches in his Scizor on my Jellicent and goes for a U-turn, trying to get a little bit of damage up on me. But unfortunately for him, the Twisted Dimensions had just returned to normal, so it lets me set up another Trick Room right there. So most likely he probably should have gone to something like this Zapdos right here right away and not let me set up another Trick Room. But now I really get to 4 turns to just wreak havoc on his team. But unfortunately, the Ice Beam that I used to hit Zapdos doesn't KO, so I'm down to 3 turns of Trick Room right now. But thankfully enough for me, Zapdos is dead on the switch in because of my Stealth Rocks. Now he goes back to Scizor trying to get some Volt Turn combination going, but man, I got my Dragonite. And my Dragonite's able, it's a Choice Band Dragonite, to just start firing off Outrages. Even against resistant Scizor, he's still 2-hit KO. It just shows you how stupidly powerful Dragonite is. So like I said, he sends in Zapdos, dies to the Stealth Rocks right there, and I'm down to 2 turns of Trick Room with a Choice Band Dragonite locked into Outrage. Now, he sends in Scizor. It's on 11% health right now, and he's just going to get a Bullet Punch off, get a little bit of damage in on me, on my Dragonite. But thankfully, Outrage takes out Scizor, down to 1 turn right here. And I do believe it actually becomes a 3-turn Outrage, which lets me take out Salamence pretty easily with basically no harm done. Just wait on it to confirm that it's a 3-turn Outrage. But he sent actually Salamence in to intimidate Dragonite so that I lose a bit of my attacking power, but it's still enough to take down Starmie. Now, at this point, he realizes that he really can't afford to let me set up another Trick Room because he's down to just 2 Pokemon right now. So he's going to send out his Salamence once again and get another Intimidate in on me. Now, here, I'm just thinking that I'm just going to sacrifice Skarmory and really try to just take Salamence out with a couple of Brave Birds right here. So he goes to the Dragon Dance on my switching and goes to the Fire Fang right there, which does a tiny bit of damage, about 41%, but he gets the flinch. So it's pretty rough on the streets, I know. And Skarmory's in a lot of trouble right here because he can only take one more Fire Fang before he goes down. But thankfully enough, I'm able to get a Brave Bird off. But because of the first Fire Fang, the second Fire Fang, and the recoil damage, I'm down to 10% health. And one more of those is going to really spell the doom out for Skarmory. So Skarmory goes down to that third Fire Fang right here. And I'm actually going to send in my Azelf and set up another Trick Room. Now, I only had 2 Pokemon on my team capable of learning Trick Room, which were my Jellicent and my Azelf, so they're kind of forced and grandfathered into learning that. And thankfully enough, I still have my Focus Sash intact, which is why I used the Taunt turn 1 to make sure that he didn't get my Stealth Rocks on my side of the field, so that I would be able to have just a guaranteed Trick Room once in the match with Azelf. And I just boom off right there because he's Dragon Danced up, so I'm actually slower even though I have a lower base power, if you get what I mean. And it allows me to just send out badass Dragonite and take this boy home with an Outrage. I outraged right there. So good game, Deria. You were no match for my Trick Room team. I got to give a shout out to Bad Romance or whatever he's called on the server right now, because he was the one that actually gave me the idea to use Trick Room in this battle. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, watch all the videos because they're pretty awesome if I do say so myself, and comment on this video, like it, and I'll see you out there on the server. This is IFM out.